Hey guys, here we go into a video where I'm going to be kind of dissecting and breaking down the first fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, and then at the end, I'll start talking about my predictions. But to be honest, I'm probably just going to jabber through and talk about all that stuff as it comes through. But we have a lot of clips to go through, so I'm going to go ahead and get through it. So the beginning of the fight, usually I like to highlight each fighter's active guard. I'm going to save that for after this clip. I just wanted to get this clip in there first because it's the first clip of the fight, right? And I want to do things mostly sequentially so that people can follow and understand how the rhythm and the patterns of the fight change. But the beginning of the fight shows that Deontay Wilder has control over Tyson Fury, right? So the first clip is him throwing a faux jab, right? And you can see how Tyson Fury reacts to it. He sticks his hands out, and that creates an opening for Deontay Wilder to land his right hand. Now, this is going to be his biggest source of success in the rematch, is properly finding ways to feint and get Tyson Fury out of position, because he had a very, very difficult time landing his right hands in this fight, and we all know that Deontay Wilder wants to land right hands. But as you can see in that clip, and then the very next clip, right after he decides that he wants to throw that, he uses the same technique, flashes his lead hand to try to get Fury out of position to land the right hand. He's able to get in, land a kind of a left hook there before Tyson Fury is able to tie him up. Now the next clip is right after that sequence. They get broken up, and Tyson Fury, look at how much pressure he looks to put on Deontay Wilder. Look at how he has him kind of trapped in the corner, right, near the ropes, and he's going to start using his active guard to try to feint and control Deontay Wilder and get Deontay Wilder out of position so he can start landing his shots. But Deontay Wilder says, nah. Look at how he takes that big step out of the corner, right, out of the way from the ring, and starts using his lead hand. Look at how far his lead hand is out there. He's going to use this lead hand to put pressure and to control Tyson Fury and stop him from controlling him, right? So the idea here is to use the lead hand not only to create openings for his right hands or his left hooks, but it's also going to stop Tyson Fury from utilizing the space between him and Deontay Wilder to set up his own shots. So notice how far away his glove is from himself, right? And this is so that he can threaten and continue to put pressure on Tyson Fury, right? Because you want to get your hands as close to your opponent as possible, and then that way all you have to do is turn your shot over, right? And when you're in a position where you're close enough that you can get your hands close enough and just turn your shots over, you have a ton of speed and a ton of sharpness kind of going into your shots. Not sharp like it's a sharp punch, but like you just seem quicker, right? When all you have to do is turn your shot over. And the closer he can get his hands to Tyson Fury, the quicker he can appear, especially from the perspective of Tyson Fury. Now, I don't want to talk too much about that. That's training stuff, and you guys, if you're interested in that, I will be doing training videos and talking about that and dissecting it. But look at how easily, in spite of the fact that Tyson Fury was looking to put pressure on Deontay Wilder is able to use his feints, use his lead hand control, right? Keep his hands up and continue to feint and pressure Tyson Fury, even though Tyson Fury wants to be the one putting the pressure on. Look at the distance he maintains from Deontay Wilder, because Deontay Wilder is so powerful on the outside. Now, in my opinion, I think that that's a massive mistake on Tyson Fury's point. I think he wants to get close to Deontay Wilder and put pressure on him on the inside, because Deontay Wilder had a ton of success in the first 6 rounds with his jab. And even though a lot of people didn't give him credit for winning the first few rounds, I had a hard time on my rewatch giving Tyson Fury any rounds because Deontay Wilder controlled the space. He controlled Tyson Fury, and he was the one putting pressure and landing his jab over and over again, as you can see in this clip, right? Great active guard, feint, and then as he feints his head across the line again, cross the line, he's able to use that opening that he created to land a jab. And he does this all night against Tyson Fury, doing a great job of setting up his jab and setting up his punches there. Unfortunately, he wasn't really able to use that to set up very many right hands. As you can see in this clip, right, having a very difficult time landing his right hand because Tyson Fury would roll that shot. But I love how he used his left hook here, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But as you can see here, landing a shot on the inside, not a hard shot, but landing a hard shot there, right? Having some success there. There was a little bit more that I wanted to talk about this clip, and maybe we'll come back to it later. But as you can see, Deontay Wilder is the one controlling Tyson Fury, right? He just needs to find a little bit more effective of a way to feint and control Tyson Fury to get him to show him the look that he's looking for, right? So using the left hook to get him to turn away from a shot, right? If he could use the left hook whenever he throws it to get him to block a shot. And we'll talk a little bit about that later as the film study goes on. But Deontay Wilder, for the most part, has complete control over Tyson Fury, especially when it comes to the battle of the jabs. As you can see here, Tyson Fury shooting the jab here, and Deontay Wilder immediately catching and countering it. That was actually a mainstay of the fight, and if you rewatch the fight, I think it'll really surprise you guys how well Deontay Wilder did with his jab. And as you're going to see here, Deontay Wilder doing the same exact thing, right? Catching the jab here and then looking to counter, right? See that motion? That's the same motion he's going to whip his hip through, right, to get another jab in. And Tyson Fury countering him there. And then Tyson Fury does land another jab here. He misses this one. Tyson Fury slips the counter jab, and then you can kind of see Tyson Fury land another jab on Deontay Wilder. But Deontay Wilder looking to take away Tyson Fury's jab by countering it with his own jab. And although he's still a little raw towards the end of the second round, as the round goes on, you can see here, again, countering the jab. And this clip is very important because this is the only time that Tyson Fury turned southpaw in the whole fight in the second round, and it just allows Deontay Wilder to just open up and start throwing punches at him. And Tyson Fury immediately realizes that that is not a position he wants to be in and never goes back to southpaw because of the fact that anytime he's on his front foot, he can be assaulted by either hand. Now again, continuing with the course of the flow of the fight, the end of the second round ends with Deontay Wilder controlling Tyson Fury, feinting him, and easily maintaining control of the ring and being able to do exactly what he wants and doing something very good here, right? Using his left hook to force Tyson Fury to block the shot and then walk him into this beautiful right hand here, landing a great shot on Tyson Fury to really punctuate the second round. And I don't know how many people gave the second round to Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, I have no idea. But the first two rounds, if you rewatch them, I think Tyson Fury lands a pretty decent shot at the end of round one, but he loses every exchange all the way up until that scene. So I'm not sure you can even give him the first round either, especially after you see how successful Deontay Wilder was with his jabs. Now, again, as the fight goes on, Deontay Wilder starts getting better and quicker with the timing of his jabs because he starts to realize when it is that Tyson Fury is going to throw his jab. And Tyson Fury kind of does this little pump fake, right? Feint, and then he's able to catch and time the jab, right? And because he knows the jab is coming from this position, right? Because of the placement of Tyson Fury's head, right? He knows that jab is coming, so all he has to do is wait for it, catch it, right? And then throw his own counter. And he gets to be increasingly better at this as the fight goes on. I think you're going to see a few more clips here of Tyson Fury trying to feint and trying to catch Wilder with his own jab. And you can see here Tyson Fury getting countered by Deontay Wilder's jab, and then he's going to get countered by another jab right here, boom, as Tyson Fury throws that shot. And you can see that Deontay Wilder was dominating Tyson Fury with his own jab. Not only is he countering all of Tyson Fury's jabs, almost all of them. There are a few that I'm not showing here where Deontay Wilder kind of shells up a little bit, and then Tyson Fury lets kind of go like a little pity-patter combination. Not really any like scoring punches or like meaningful shots, maybe scoring-ish, but the damage and the control all coming from Deontay Wilder. So if you guys give this fight a rewatch, I'm not sure where you'll find it because I only have it because I had it from when the fight first played. But Deontay Wilder doing a great job of continuing to control and time Tyson Fury. Again, because Tyson Fury only throws his jab from one position, right? He doesn't ever get to the outside of Deontay Wilder. He only throws it from the inside. And if you guys catch my training videos, I'll kind of talk a little bit more about that. Those are in my Patreon. But I'll talk a little bit more about the two different kinds of jabs, the jab and the cross. And Tyson Fury, for the most part, only throws a jab. He doesn't usually throw a cross at all. Doesn't get his weight into it. Even though you can see at the beginning of this clip, he does a good job of like feinting, right, and using his active guard. Now, Tyson Fury does have a really good active guard, but Deontay Wilder was able to neutralize it with his own feints and with his own hooks like this and by using lead hand control. But as you can see, Tyson Fury's trying to get to the front foot, as you can see in this clip, to continue to threaten Deontay Wilder from multiple positions. But when he starts getting on that front foot, that's also the timing in which he throws his jab. Deontay Wilder is flirting with the idea of countering Tyson Fury's jab with the left hook. Now, this is fascinating to me because I think he should be doing it with his right hand instead. I'm not sure why Deontay Wilder never goes with the overhand right to counter Tyson Fury's jab, especially the fact that Tyson Fury makes it so obvious when it's coming, always being right here, right? This is the same position, front foot, right? Pump fake a couple of times, right? But Deontay Wilder going with a right hand to the back, right? Again, finding another way to isolate Tyson Fury from his own jab, right? And the quicker that he can take away that jab from Tyson Fury, the quicker he can, the more effective he'll be by keeping Tyson Fury off the front foot. Now, notice Tyson Fury is a front-footed fighter, right? He fights primarily off the front foot, in spite of the fact that he always keeps his head basically on the inside of Deontay Wilder in position to throw the jab, which is fascinating. It's really interesting why he does that and how he can have so much success, because it's very difficult to fight like that. But as you can see, Deontay Wilder doing a great job of continuing to take away the tools of Tyson Fury. And unfortunately for Tyson Fury, he doesn't really make any adjustments until a little bit too late in the fight. But we will talk about that, the adjustment that he does make. But as you can see here, Tyson Fury looking to get that pump fake on and still continuing to get countered by Deontay Wilder's superpower jab, right? And this goes on all the way up until around the 6th round. Again, continuing to catch and counter and stop Tyson Fury from being effective. Now, I think Tyson Fury might catch a piece of that. But again, he's not really landing any punches of his own, right? Throughout the course of the first 6 rounds, Tyson Fury has very, very, very little offense. Again, right, catching that jab, boom, landing a great cross right there. And a great cross. You can see that Deontay Wilder, right, he's a little more square here. His shoulder is on the outside of Tyson Fury's, the left side of Tyson, or the right side of Tyson Fury's head. And as that shot comes, he's able to cross his weight into Tyson Fury's face. That's why he stumbles and moves, right? Deontay Wilder lands a great jab right there. And again, he just continues to use this technique to dominate Tyson Fury. And it's really interesting that he didn't get the credit after the fight for all the hard work, you know, just because he's not as flashy. But again, isolating Tyson Fury from his jab, being able to pick it apart and land right hands. Now, not the cleanest, right? It's kind of on the back right here, right? And obviously that's not where you want to be hitting him, but he's trying to throw it to the body, you know. Real time, it's a little harder to do all that stuff, but still being very effective at stopping Tyson Fury from having any follow-ups from his jab because he gets countered on his jab every time. Now, I think this might be the first clip. Oh no, again in the 7th round, still countering Tyson Fury and even doing better, right? He's able to get to the outside or to the inside of Tyson Fury's jab and land his own cross, right? And continuing to counter him, right? And keep control of Tyson Fury. Now, the thing that Tyson Fury was missing throughout this, right? Because you're supposed to use your jab to set up your other punches. Now, in theory, a lot of boxing experts or a lot of boxing coaches or a lot of boxing people think that means that you have to be landing your jab in order to move on to the next step, which is the 1-2 or the 1-3, right? Or the, you know, whatever the uppercut punch is. I don't know what number that is. But a lot of people think that, but that's not true. You just want to know how your opponent is going to react off of your jab so that you can set up an equal and opposite reaction that ends in your favor, right? Now, Tyson Fury finally starts to do that in the 7th round when he starts throwing his own 1-2s instead of just throwing the one shot and then getting countered. He throws the shot and then crosses his weight over. And look at this beautiful right hand he lands right onto Wilder's chin. Now, Tyson Fury does land, you know, a couple of hard shots, a couple of good left hooks, a couple of good right hands in the clinch with Wilder when they fight on the inside. But he kind of takes almost as good as he's getting on the inside as well. And this is the first time in the 7th round in which Tyson Fury starts to land some good shots. And as you can see, he just throws the quick 1, the counter comes, and he counters right on the inside of that shot. Because, again, Deontay Wilder is throwing his jab like a cross so he can get more weight into it, right? He tries to parry the jab, right? Misses it, and then gets caught with the big right hand. And Tyson Fury doesn't stop there. He starts throwing even more, right? Boom, lands a good one right there, and then lands another good one right here. The same thing, right? Boom, boom, and wobbles Deontay Wilder. Beautiful shots, right? Really, really great shots, and he wobbles Deontay Wilder. And this is going to be very, very, very important for him to figure out the timing and start doing this earlier in the fight if he's going to be able to beat Deontay Wilder. He just spent, I think, in my opinion, a little bit too much time allowing Deontay Wilder to counter him and control him and feint him. And then Deontay Wilder, for his part, because of the fact that he got so comfortable countering Tyson Fury's jab, you can see here that he's not even really looking to control the space. He's not feinting as much. His hands are kept close to his own guard, right? And he stopped actually looking for opportunities necessarily to assault Tyson Fury because he was only looking to counter Tyson Fury's jab because Tyson Fury was making it easy for him, you know? And in spite of the fact that the round still looked close, I do think that Deontay Wilder won the majority of the first 6 rounds based on his countering of the jab of Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury's just overall low output, low control over Deontay Wilder, and no control over the ring. So it's really interesting how the rematch is going to play out because, to be honest, anything could happen. And I'll talk a little bit more about what I think will happen towards the end. We only have a few more clips before we start talking about that. But again, Deontay Wilder doing a good job, right, even still in the 7th round, of going over the top of Tyson Fury's jab, right? So I don't know if Tyson Fury thought all of a sudden that he had regained control and was going to be able to start landing his jab with more frequency because of the jab right hand, and he was trying to re-gauge what Deontay Wilder's new reaction was going to be. But Deontay Wilder, very game opponent, slipping the jab and coming over the top. Now, if Deontay Wilder can figure out how to do this without having to slip first, without having to slip to the outside first, if he could just slip to the inside and throw his right hand over the top, that's a game over strategy for Tyson Fury because of the way that Tyson Fury approaches his jab, right? Look at where his lead hand is, right? And when that jab comes out, his shoulder doesn't curl over his chin, right? It doesn't come over. So if Deontay Wilder can time it from that position, he's got a stone-cold knockout. And it's free. It's a free knockout because this is not the position you want to be throwing your jab from, right? This jab here, this is a setup jab only. You don't really want to be throwing this punch and really committing your weight to it because, as you see, his weight is basically on his back foot here, and he's going to be thrusting it into his front foot to get his weight into it, right? It's kind of like stepping with your jab, right? As you can see, actually, he even does step with his jab. But that's how you get weight and power into that jab, when really you should be doing what Deontay Wilder was doing if you want power in your jab and throwing it like a cross. Transfer your weight to your front foot, throw that jab, and transfer your weight to your back foot, right? And that's how you should be getting power in your jab. If you're throwing your jab from position 2, which Tyson Fury is essentially doing, you want to be using it to set punches up rather than just landing that shot. And that's why he's so out of position for this right hand here. And also, just on that note, that's something that Teddy Atlas mentions. He talks about it I can't remember which fight he was talking about, but it's throwing your jab too close to your opponent, right? And what he really means is throwing your jab when your weight's basically on your back foot, even though it looks like, I don't know how to describe it, but Tyson Fury's weight should be on his back foot from this position because of the position that his head is in. His head should be over his back leg. Now, it's not really, but it should be. In boxing theory, it should be. And then when he throws his jab in from this position, he should not be stepping with it. He should be using that jab to set up his next shot, because what you want to do is block your weight transfer with your jab and then go into your weight transfer with your right hand. I don't know if I'm talking too much about this or not, but I'm going to kind of move on anyway. But this is a very, very dangerous position to be committing your jab to, because you have no defense from that side, because your weight is already in one position. Your head is already basically in the same position that your head is going to end in when you throw that jab, right? And as you can see, Deontay Wilder has no trouble finding it and landing that shot. So be careful, all you fighters out there throwing your jab from that position. Very dangerous, very dangerous. But again, you can see Tyson Fury throwing his jab from the same position, right? Very easy counter right there. But going back to his 1-2 strategy, right? Quick 1-2, and having, again, some really good success against Deontay Wilder, who's looking to counter his jab with his own jab, or rather with his own cross, right? Boom, as he transfers his weight back, but he gets caught with a great shot. Tyson Fury is going to really need to work on making sure that he has control of Deontay Wilder, and when he doesn't have control, feinting and getting him to give him a predictable look so that he can set up counters of his own. And that was basically the flow of the fight. The rest of the fight is just a really good fight. Tyson Fury does much better in the second half of the fight. But what I wanted to focus on next is Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury's defense for the right hand. Now, in this clip, he's rolling the right hand, right? And this is very dangerous to roll a straight punch, right? Because you don't know what punch they're going to be throwing from this distance. You just assume that it's going to be a straight right hand from this position. But if Deontay Wilder were to throw an uppercut or a hook from this position instead, he would have a lot more success rather than throwing the straight right hand. And throughout these clips, actually, these next few clips, we're going to see Tyson Fury rolling, again, more of those shots, right, that Deontay Wilder could be throwing hooks for instead. But as you can see, Deontay Wilder is getting closer and closer, and that's what culminates in the actual knockdown later on in the fight. And again, finally kind of catching him here with the right hand as Tyson Fury just slows down a little bit, right? Just a little bit. He finally gets caught. And make no mistake, you can hear it on the audio that right hand lands. But as the fight wears on, Deontay Wilder gets closer and closer until he's landing them. Now he lands two great right hands in the 8th round, right? The last one I just showed and then this one. But he starts to get closer and closer as the fight goes on. But you can see him again rolling, and he finally catches them again with some more great shots, right? Another great right hand, the 3rd one in the 8th round. And this is because he's trying to roll these shots rather than slipping them, right? If you're just like slow on your timing just a little bit, right? And what I want to remind you guys of is Erickson Lubin rolling Jermell Charlo's straight right hand, right? So he rolled the first one in their fight, and then Jermell Charlo was like, oh, okay, feint with the jab, and then he threw an uppercut instead, and Erickson Lubin rolled right into that shot and got knocked out. And this is exactly what Deontay Wilder should be doing, right? He doesn't need to spend so much time finding the timing and slowly getting that right hand. There are a number of things that he could do instead, right? Throwing the right hook, throwing the right uppercut. I much rather recommend the right uppercut, or throwing the straight right hand at the chest of Tyson Fury, right? And landing it, maybe on his left pec or something, right? But right before he rolls, right? Or throwing it to the body, right? Throwing a wide shot, or just throwing it in between the space between his glove and his elbow right there, and just kind of sinking it in on the body. I would say would be very, very, very effective for him. But more importantly, actually, and we'll be talking about this at the end, is using better feints to set that right hand up, not just using the jab, because the jab, again, is getting Tyson Fury into this position because he knows after the jab, the right hand's coming, right? However, in this clip, this is actually the clip of the knockdown in which he's able to finally connect by throwing multiple combinations of punches, taking an angle right here, and then trying to control Tyson Fury's head, right? He controls his head with the lead hand, and then he's able to finally time him with his own right hand. Now, I think that Deontay Wilder needs to use a little bit different of a feint, or use his lead. I don't know what this clip is supposed to be, but let me see if I can even close it. It's not going to let me. Okay. But doing stuff like this, I think this is very, very important. So in the 11th round, he opens up with a lead left hook, and look at how Tyson Fury rolls away from that shot, right? That opens him up actually to a right hand. And this is something that Deontay Wilder did a few times throughout the course of the fight, right? Left hook right here, and then landing another great right hand right as he does that. Boom, boom. And it may not look like really clear from here because Tyson Fury does have really good head movement. He has really good eyes. But make no mistake, that right hand lands flush on his head. And this is something that I think that Deontay Wilder needs to focus on, is using his lead hand in multiple ways, threatening different positions or different attacks, because in spite of the fact that he was eventually able to catch Tyson Fury with his right hand, the 1-2 combination was just not working very well for him throughout the course of the fight. So finding different ways to threaten him, the lead left hook is going to be super effective against Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury is going to be expecting the jab, because Deontay Wilder's jab was so good in the first fight. Really, really underrated. In fact, I didn't even realize how good it was the first time I watched the fight. And watching it back and picking up strategy and points and ideas, I really am a big fan of Deontay Wilder, and I think that Deontay Wilder did a fantastic job in this fight. He did a fantastic job in his rematch with Ortiz, and actually that's one of the reasons why I don't think for even a little bit of the fight that Tyson Fury will go southpaw at all, because of the fact that I think Luis Ortiz is a better fighter southpaw than Tyson Fury could be. And if he's able to knock out Luis Ortiz, I don't think that Tyson Fury would be able to really get away from the right hands or the left hooks of Deontay Wilder. And I think it would be a big mistake for him to try and fight Deontay Wilder southpaw. Who knows? Maybe he actually does come in and fights the whole fight southpaw, and then smashes Deontay Wilder. That'd be really funny. But I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't think it's very likely. I don't think it could happen. But as for Tyson Fury, I think Tyson Fury needs to fight on the inside more against Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder likes to take a really long stance, and fighting on the inside would be really effective against Deontay Wilder. I think that Tyson Fury landed all of his best attacks, all of his best punches on the inside. And even countering Deontay Wilder, I think, would be very effective as well. I think that that's also something he should focus on, even though it didn't seem like he focused on it at all in the first fight. I have no idea why, because everyone wants to point out that Deontay Wilder is so wild and he throws such wild punches, which, in my opinion, I think is absolute crap. I think Deontay Wilder is a very polished fighter, and he knows what he wants to do, and the things that he wants to do, he does very well. Are there things that he can work on? Of course, right? There are things that Tyson Fury can work on as well. Fighting out of multiple positions is one of them. In spite of the fact that he has a really active guard, he doesn't really fight out of multiple positions very well. He doesn't threaten with his right hand very well, as we saw in the course of this fight. So I think that there's a lot that each fighter can work on. But as far as the predictions, I saw this clip, and I can't remember what his name is, but it was Tyson Fury's trainer for the first fight of the Deontay Wilder fight. They had him do a preview and prediction fight or preview and prediction and boxing lesson for the Amir Khan-Terence Crawford fight. And he said some really brilliant stuff that really made me respect him as a trainer. In spite of the fact that he's so young, it really made me respect him. And it was that all the other analysts, people on the dais were like, oh, it's going to be the jab. Oh, it's going to be Amir Khan's speed. Oh, it's going to be his power. Oh, it's going to be... And then that guy just stands there and says, what do you think? He says, I think this fight is going to be won or lost depending on what he does before he punches and what he does after he punches. And to be honest, that's a brilliant way to sum up all of boxing theory, right? The punches are ancillary. Those are supporting mechanisms for your fight strategy, right? The punches are ancillary. Think about them as a support, right? And everything that you do before is what allows your punches to land, right? And then what you do after is what allows punches not to land on you. Well, both of them stop punches from landing on you. But if you think about that it's just a brilliant way to say it. And he dumped that guy as a trainer, and that gives me nearly zero confidence in Tyson Fury being able to win this fight. I think that guy being in his ear, I don't have any idea what this guy is trying to say, is trying to tell Tyson Fury ways to beat Deontay Wilder. But if that guy had the smarts to say, hey, If you don't faint before you throw punches, Wilder's going to knock you out. If you don't move your head after you throw punches, Deontay's going to knock you out. If he doesn't have someone in his corner saying that, hey, watch out what you do before you punch, watch out what you do after you punch. If he doesn't have someone saying that, he's going to get knocked out. It's going to be bad for him. And it makes me want to think that Deontay Wilder is going to be the one to win this fight. I think Deontay Wilder actually won the first fight. I know that's not going to be the most popular opinion. Before you say stuff in the comment section below, go back and spend the hour and watch the fight and score it. Don't just score it and say, oh, Tyson Fury didn't get knocked out in this round, so he won, right? Don't say that. Don't say, oh, Deontay Wilder didn't land very many punches, so Tyson Fury won. Because Tyson Fury didn't land very many punches either. And if you're objective about that, and you can say, hey, this round was pretty even, right? And then you say, okay, well, if it's pretty even on offense, who had better defense? I think that's a stupid way to describe it, right? I think you should remove that as a criteria, because who could have better defense if they both landed the same amount of punches, right? Or a similar amount, right? But who had more control over the octagon? Who did more of what they want, right? Now, the reason these are important, only ancillarily, is that they give you a sense of what's to come, right? Because if you're being the reactive fighter in most of the situations, your opponent is going to be able to more easily find opportunities to make you react in ways that are favorable to him, versus you finding holes in their actions that are going to be favorable to you. Now, if you already have a lot of craft and you're very, very skilled and talented, maybe that will be the case, right? Like Mayweather. Mayweather knows how to counter the jab and the right hand and the left hook, and he knows how to roll and do this and do that, and he has great craft. And that's why he's able to skate by and, not put a lot of effort into his wins and just go out there and, dominate people. It's also why I don't give him an A-level grade, because he doesn't go out there to make his opponents make mistakes. He just waits for them to make mistakes, and they just give him free punches. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. But anyway, I think Tyson Fury is going to have a very difficult time with a new trainer, fighting a fighter as experienced as Deontay Wilder. And if Deontay Wilder makes any kind of adjustments in the fight, opening up with the left hook into the right hand, he's going to have a much easier time landing punches against Tyson Fury than he did in the first fight. Also, going to the body is going to be very important for Deontay Wilder, because he wants to fight so far on the outside. And I think that's his key to victory, is maintaining his distance from Tyson Fury. Because I think if Tyson Fury gets close to him, Tyson Fury could knock him out. If Tyson Fury decides that he wants to fight a close inside fight, make it a rough and tumble kind of thing, he's much bigger than Deontay Wilder. He weighs a lot more. He could definitely manhandle him and get him tired down and land some big shots on the inside. But that's one of the only ways that I actually see Tyson Fury winning the fight. I think Deontay Wilder is really good on the outside. He's really good with his lead hand control. He understands the basics of boxing well enough that he stops and nullifies Tyson Fury's normally ironclad active guard that befuddles so many opponents. So I'm actually going to go with Deontay Wilder. I think he outboxed him in the first fight, even though everyone says that he doesn't know how to box. I think he just did. And I think that he's going to win the second fight. And I don't know if it's going to be knockout or what, because as we saw, iron chin on Tyson Fury. He ate some big shots that did not drop him, in spite of the fact that he did get dropped twice. But in a fantastic fight. Now, I am expecting it still to be a good fight, fun and entertaining. But as we saw, the first 6 rounds of Tyson Fury, he tried to do what he did to Vladimir Klitschko and just throw the jab and bounce away and control the ring and have fun in there. And Deontay Wilder wasn't having any of it. He was able to counter the jab and take that tool away from him for a long time, or rather, use that tool to set up his own offense. I think that he has all the tools to really beat Tyson Fury in the rematch. I think that's what I think is going to happen. Now, the only reason that I really hope that it happens is because I'm making that prediction and I'm putting it on YouTube. But getting to see Tyson Fury fight Anthony Joshua would be a treat. But I really, really, really want to see Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. I really want to see that fight. I think it'll be a great fight. and I can't wait. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out my stuff on Patreon. Again, I'm going to be having more training videos coming out. The new year slowed me down a little bit. My schedule hasn't been lining up with the guy I'm training. So I'm not sure how much longer that's going to last. But, you know. Anyway, thanks, guys.